Hello, hello, and welcome to this week's training. So we are looking this week at luxury branding, and this is something that over the years I have had a little bit of hate for. I wrote a blog a few years ago that was basically called "Is Your Product Shit?" And yes, probably not the best way to come across, but I had it myself where my first sort of 3 months of releasing a product, and I'm looking at my product and I'm like, this has been made by hand. It's very obvious. It's not quite as bad as the tea light holder that my 6-year-old brought home for Diwali, but it's a craft product. And one of the things I sort of thrived in, one of the areas I thrived in is looking at the nuances that made something luxury compared to making something craft. And this is one of the reasons why I call the business Artisan Business Company, because there is a difference between a crafter or a craft person and an artisan. And it doesn't have to be based around training. It doesn't have to be based around, I've been trained to be a blacksmith, so I'm an artisan. It's not that. It's those little bits. It's the bits that make your product special. It's the fact that you take that little extra time. It's the fact that you'll get the best quality products to be able to make your product with. So you're looking for the best supplies. You're looking at the most sustainable way of making your product. And the luxury market is something that I discovered and I loved, and I was lucky enough to thrive in. And and you'll probably hear me speak about it, one of the highlights of, well, there are two major highlights of my business. One was having a pop-up store in John Lewis just before Christmas, which was just amazing for me. It was in the late October, beginning of November, and it was just an amazing week. And the staff at John Lewis were just absolutely fantastic. And whilst people are buying my products, we've got carol singers in the area. It was just something amazing. I was doing gift wrapping for people on site, and it was the most draining week of my life. And I have 3 kids, so imagine that. It literally was the most exhausting week of my life, but it was also one of the most amazing to watch people look at the sort of designer products and go, oh, they're nice, and then come to my products and go, wow. And that made me really passionate about sort of competing in that marketplace. And I did everything I could to make sure that wherever my products were related to that luxury feel, that luxury marketplace. So the independent stores that I put my products into, I researched, I investigated. And there weren't just bricks and mortar stores, but there were online stores as well. I had conversations with the owners about their vision for their business to check that it aligned with my business. And that all came down to sitting down and going, okay, so am I building a company and a product, or am I building a brand? And I decided I didn't just want to create a product and build a company. I wanted to build a brand and to have that brand known worldwide. And that was something that I was like, right, this is what I'm going to do. Making that decision is difficult. Knowing how to execute it, I was in a minefield. I had no idea what I was doing. Everything that you see from Peony and Pine, I created myself. So I designed the logo, I designed the website, I designed everything, the emails. It was all me. And it was hours of work. It was literally sitting there and going, okay, how does this business do it? How does the market work for this? Looking at luxury brands, looking at the psychology of color, looking at how people relate to stuff, even down to the scents that I chose to use, looking at how those scents affect people, what those scents instill in people's homes when they light candles in their homes. So it became a lifestyle. It was the business lifestyle, and it did me well, and I loved it. But as a newbie coming into it, it was really daunting, and it was terrifying because I didn't know where to start, what to do, or what to look at. And I think there are a lot of crafters out there that make lovely products. And I have bought some products that are lovely, and they sit on our shelves, or they have been used by, or they've been sent out for gifts, and they have been lovely gifts. Were they luxury? No. Did they look handmade? Yes. Was that the intention of me buying it? Absolutely. But when it came to me designing the business that I wanted, that was not the vibe I was going for. And that was not what I wanted to create from my business. I didn't want to have a craft business. I wanted a retail business. I wanted a worldwide retail business. And I wanted it quickly, and I wanted it to work, and I wanted a possible legacy for my kids. And I needed to do all of that so that it stood on its own, and it wasn't something that directly needed me to be in the business. There are a lot of businesses out there, handmade businesses, craft businesses out there, where the business is all based around the personality in that business. And when I started building the business, I went, no, I don't want that. I don't want to be, I know at the beginning I'm going to have to be the face of my brand, but I don't want to be the face of my brand forever. I need it to stand on its own, because I need the opportunity of having other people in there. I don't want people to come to my business and only buy from me. I want people to buy the products. I want people to buy into the products. I want the products to stand on their own. I don't want a queue of people that have all turned up just because it's me and they want to support me. I want these people to love the product so much that they tell someone who tells someone who tells someone who's never met me, who has no idea who I am, that want to buy my product. And looking at that mindset shift when it came to building my product range and building the brand story, it made a massive difference in what the people that were approaching me for products. I mean, that was amazing. It almost felt like it was overnight. Once I'd made a decision and started applying that into my business, I had people come to me and ask how they could work with me. I had people come to me and say, right, I need your products in my shop. I'm still getting phone calls now from people saying, I need your candles for my new venture. I need your candles. I'm setting up a gift subscription company. I'm setting up a corporate company. I'm setting up a small shop for independents. I need your product in my business. So that was brilliant for me, because then it stopped being about me and it started being about the products. It felt like overnight. It wasn't. But it felt like it was overnight. Once I'd made that decision and started working towards that decision, the energy shifted in the way that my business ran. And a lot of people say to me, like, but you're great. You can do this. You have the skills to do this. You're able to, read this. You're good at marketing. Okay, yeah. But I've been doing this for 14 years. And 14 years ago, I had no idea what I was doing. 14 years ago, I had no idea about marketing. I had no idea about promotion. I had no idea how to build websites. I didn't know how to email people. I didn't know the psychology of color. I didn't know the psychology of sales and communication. I didn't know any of that 14 years ago. What I've done in the last 14 years is invested in myself and my skills, my knowledge, in order to make that happen. So I've worked really, really hard to get to now what it seems like a place where success could happen. But 14 years ago, if you'd met me, if you'd seen my first ever company logo, it was atrocious. It was awful. So when you're looking at the marketplace and looking at where you want your product to be, think about maybe 14 years later. Like, what does it look like to you? What does that business look like to you? And luxury branding is something that is standalone, and it can stand alone for years to come. And one of the things that I did that really made the difference is I went out and I went on the bus with my daughter and we went on a trip into town. And we had a mother-daughter day. And she was like, why are we going to town? I was like, I need to find every designer candle company. And she was like, okay. I was like, we are going to go around. We're going to find all the designer candle companies. We're going to smell all the candles. We're going to look at them compared to my candles. And we're going to judge them. And we're going to be judgy. And we're going to have coffee. And we're going to be mean girls about this. And we're going to be judgy about my products as well as their products. We are going to be the judgy mean girls for an entire day. But I'm going to find all of these products. I'm going to find what they have in common. And I'm going to have that in common with them, but better. Let's go. And we did. We grabbed the Starbucks, grabbed on the bus. We had a fantastic trip. We were the best mean girls in the world ever. We scrutinized. We pulled apart, the design on the packaging. We spoke about everything, anything I liked, I wrote down. Anything I hated, I wrote down and circled. And actually going in and looking at the product, my competitors or my soon-to-be competitors, the people I wanted to be competitors of mine, looking at that made the difference. So when you're looking at your product and when you're looking at how you want to build your product, how you want to build your business, how do you want to compete in the marketplace, have you looked at your potential competitors? Have you looked at who you want to be? Have you looked at how they brand themselves? I had a big piece of paper with all their branding on. I had pictures of their stores. I had pictures of their products. I had pictures of their labels, their wrapping, everything. I even bought products from Joe Malone to see what their shipping process was like. I bought products from Neom because I wanted to see what their shipping process was like. I wanted to see what the thud factor was like as their products came through the door. How did it make me feel? Was it like opening a present? And do you know what? I have to give it. It was absolutely amazing to actually see the product, rip them open. I had, in total, I think there was 8 companies I'd ordered from, everything from handmade through to mass manufactured, just to see what their whole process was like and how it worked. And yes, it's a bit expensive, but it was an investment into my business and the vision that I had in my business. And my daughter had candles all over her room. My sons had candles all over their room. Don't get me wrong, they love a candle. It wasn't like I was bullying them. They just stole them and ran away. So it was an investment into my business, but being able to sit down and go, okay, what do I want it to be? Who do I want my competitors to be? How do I want it to look? Do I want it to stand alone? Do I want to be the name of my business in the future, or do I want the opportunity of growing it into a £1 million business and then possibly selling it off to someone? What do I want this to look like in the long term, and how can I get there? And then look at that branding, look at the psychology of color. The psychology of color is immense, and being able to understand how different colors make people feel, how different colors incite different senses. This sort of thing is really, really important to knowing where you want to be and where you want your business to be. And branding is an evolution. Branding doesn't have to stay the same, and your logos and your brands will evolve over time. My brand evolved over 18 months. It took me 18 months to really understand what I wanted to be and where I wanted to go. And it took a while for me to really gather all those little bits together and make it what I wanted to be. And over the next 5 to 10 years, that brand will evolve again. And the way it feels will evolve again. And based on the research we do and how many customers we have and what type of customers we have and where we get the most sales and what visuals work, what visuals don't, it will evolve and it will move along with me. It will grow in itself. It will grow into its own person. Currently, it's still in the toddler stage. Eventually, it'll get to adolescence. And when it matures, it will be what it's known for. But I'm prepared for that growth. So when you look at your business and you look at where you want to be and what you want it to be, look at those aspects. What do you want in the future? What do you want to invoke when people see your brand? What feeling do you want to invoke when people see your brand? What vibe do you want to give off? Where do you want to be placed? What kind of people do you want to buy your product? And look at this, because it can make a difference. But also looking at your product and saying, is this worthy of being a luxury product? And if not, and it's fine that it's not, what will it take for me to make this a luxury product? I remember looking at my candles and going, I wouldn't pay more than a tenner for that. By the end of the 18 months, I was getting like the same candle, the exact same candle was £20. And I was getting people coming back month on month, buying because they'd found a favorite and they were going to buy it every single month. And they did. I had quite a few customers that I was like, oh, it's this date of the month, so and so will be ordering soon. Or I'd send out an email knowing that these 5 people were definitely going to order, or send out another email that those 5 people are definitely going to order from this one. You get to know the customers that you are comfortable with. You get to know their trends, and you get to know, what is your product worthy of that? I looked at my products and when I wouldn't buy that as for a gift. I wouldn't buy that as something special. That isn't special to me. And if I'm looking around the shop, if I'm going to buy a Christmas gift, my product isn't the gift I'm picking up. So what do I need to do to make my product the product that I would pick up for somebody's Christmas gift? What do I need to do to make my product the product that's special for my best friend on her birthday? And evaluating your product like that and being brutally honest with yourself, it's great if you are happy with your product. And I was happy with my product. I'm not saying that I wasn't happy with it. I'm saying where my goals were leading me, my product was not going to take me there. And it was about being realistic about that and going, yeah, okay, it's great that I've learned to make this. And it's great that it's selling. But can I call it luxury? No. Do I want to get into the luxury market? Yes. How do I make this product luxury so I can build that market? Let's go. So if the luxury market is something that you're looking at, start looking at your product and saying, does it matter what my branding is to start with? Is my product ready to be branded as luxury, or do I need to make tweaks to my product to make it a luxury product? Then look at your branding and go, okay, does this brand scream to me luxury? And if I look at the top 5 competitors in the luxury arena for this product, am I anywhere close to being alongside them? Or do I need to look at that and redesign it? Then look at your color scales. Okay, my color scales, is it screaming luxury or am I just screaming? Like, where is my product in the whole scheme of this? What are my colors looking at? And then once you've got all of that, what is my story? What is my luxury story? Is my luxury story that I just want a luxury product? Or is my luxury story that I've spent the time and energy to develop a product that's sustainable, that has the best ingredients, that is the best quality, that will last much longer than any other product in this arena? Have I made the product offering as luxury as it looks? What is that story, and how does that sound to my customers? That is the development of a luxury brand. That is the development of a luxury product. And having those essentials put together, even not just on a piece of paper to start with, and going, okay, this is where I want to be. This is my dream. This is my goal. And step by step going through each of those aspects until you have a luxury brand that's ready to go worldwide. You can build that business. You can look at it and go, okay, this is what I need to do. But start evaluating it. Start looking at it and going, okay, what does it need to be? And be brutally honest with yourself. Cry about it a little bit. eat a bit of ice cream, then get back on with work and make it work. Make your luxury brand accessible to you, your goals and your dreams. I hope that's helped one of you, 5 of you, all of you. And I'd really be interested to talk to people. Comment below. There's people that want to be in the luxury marketplace, want to be global, but have no idea how to do it. Pop a comment at the bottom. Let's have a chat. There's a raft of information I can give you. There's so many resources I can help you with. Pop your comments below and take the plunge. Just do it. Become luxury, become global. Okay, guys. See you all next week. Take care.